Canada is the richest country on earth, run by idiots.
The Liberal Party has consistently raised the bar on openness and transparency.
Joe Rossinell with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Word on the street says Trudeau is building a moat around Ottawa. I think he needs it. If you're going to go medieval, I want to get a cauldron of hot tar and just like pour it over the edge of the Parliament building onto the people. What do you think? A moat just isn't enough. While I like the idea, but hot tar. Remember those pictures from like the Middle Ages? Like they'd be storming the castle and people be like throwing boulders down and dumping tar on people. Now we're talking, Trudeau. If you're going to go with the moat, go with the tar. It leaves a mark. Canada's on fire, and Ernest Hemingway is back from the grave. He's floating conspiracy theories all over the place. Play the clip.
It's getting so bad that that I don't think people really truly understand what's going on. If you haven't heard the latest up here in Canada, BC's on fire, the East Coast is on fire, and now Quebec. Quebec, all in one day, the entire province caught fire on a beautiful day. This is planned, and I'll tell you why it's planned. They want to move people out of the countryside into cities. Then they want to lock them down in 15-minute cities. How do you do that? Contaminate the air, contaminate the water, and so on.
So a friend Ernest thinks the fires were basically set on purpose by the government. I don't know about that. I'm going to be honest with you, Ernest. You know, you wrote The Old Man in the Sea. I'll give you that, but I'm not going to give you this one. Sadly, though, this is a byproduct of people. We no longer have confidence in our governments, in our leadership, in our institutions, and conspiracy starts floating around. And then you got Ernest Hemingway coming back from the grave and telling everybody that the government set fire to the entire country. Ernest, please, please go back to fishing in Cuba. I'm not going to give you this one. Sorry, guys. Kind of weird. And Ernest is freaking me out. Just another day in Vancouver, Canada. Play the clip.
Right in the chin! You racist! You misogynist! I'll freeze your bank accounts! I'll freeze your bank accounts!
You can't make this stuff up. I got to be honest with you. I can't even, man. It's just straight up and down nuts. Just a reminder, Canada, Trudeau's been in office for 8 years. He's made a lot of promises. And, oh, by the way, he lied. Just a reminder, public service announcement. Think the CBC will tell you that one? You need Joe and Joe for that. Kevin O'Leary's at it again. Very critical of Mr. Trudeau. Play the clip.
Because Canada is the richest country on earth, run by idiots. And I hate to say that as a Canadian because I have a passport,
Right.
But I'm also Irish and I'm also Emirati. But I'm really unhappy about the way Canada's run. And I'm not picking at any one politicians. Very weak skill sets in management there. And that's the premise by which you want someone from business to run a country.
You've been very public in your disdain for the Prime Minister now, Prime Minister Trudeau, that he's doing a horrible job, that he's making things worse. You still subscribe to that, I guess, right?
He is one of the most successful politicians in history. He's been in that seat forever. He has zero executional skills. He is a horrible manager. He perhaps is the worst manager Canada's ever been under. The absolute worst. It can't get worse. Absolutely a -10.
I want to focus on this particular aspect of O'Leary's comments. He says Trudeau has zero execution skills. He's a horrible manager. He is perhaps the worst manager Canada has ever been under, the absolute worst. It cannot get any worse, an absolute -10. He's spot on, but he also says he's a pretty decent politician. Why is that important? Because it's not always just about execution. It's about the rhetoric. It's about the projection. It's about the division that he caused. And through that division, he conquered. Trudeau knows how to slip and slide his way through the press, which of course is on his side. He knows how to basically project a rhetoric that sells to people. And frankly, as a result of that, as a politician, he has been successful. But as a manager, he has destroyed Canada and he has destroyed you. I like O'Leary's comments. They're honest, but at the same time, it points something out to people. You do not need a politician. You need a public servant. Your country does not belong to the people anymore. Maybe it never has. And I'm speaking for America too. America's run by special interests. And my bet is Canada is as well. Justin Trudeau is a servant to the globalist agenda. He knows where his bread is buttered, and it's not the people who butter it. The people simply just vote. And he understands how to get past the people. And as far as his management skills go, the proof's in the pudding. You tell a tree by the fruit it bears. If you think I'm not telling the truth, open up your refrigerator. Is it full of food? How are you paying your bills? Are times tight for you? If you ask me, that's the barometer. That tells you everything you need to know. Trudeau knows how to slip and slide. He can't manage. And ultimately, it's the management side that affects you, and it has destroyed you. The tables are turning. They're starting to criticize Pierre Poilievre. Play the clip.
Welcome to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, the Ottawa edition. And on this episode, we're visiting Rockcliffe. This is one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the country. This is where the old money, the big money, and where Pierre Poilievre have their base. Now, Mr. Poilievre already has a house in Ottawa, but by moving into Rockcliffe, he gets a 19-room mansion, servants, a personal chef, and $170,000 a year in upkeep for the joint. Talk about gatekeepers. This guy's got groundskeepers. Now, personally, I don't have a problem with an official residence for the leader of the opposition, but I do have a problem with Pierre Poilievre telling senior citizens that they don't deserve to have access to free public dental care while he's being served Eggs Benedict from his own personal chef in his own mansion paid for by the taxpayer. Pierre, enough with the champagne and caviar dreams. Please.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with money. It's what you do with money that makes it good or bad. Ultimately, some people have more money than others. We're supposed to take care of our own. And frankly, once we do that, we should take care of others. That is a Catholic belief of how one should take care of and be stewards of money. Now, as far as Mr. Poilievre, he's a pretty rich guy. Why is that important? Does he understand the people? Because ultimately, you only understand the people when you live like the people. My personal opinion. It's easy to speak from a podium. It's another thing to empathize, to sympathize, and to feel the burn that regular people feel every day, which they are feeling in Canada, and then basically serve them as their prime minister. Because remember, you are a public servant. Will he be able to do that? Is he disconnected from the people because he is so rich? Sadly, that is something that happens across the board with many of our politicians. They are elitists and they don't understand the average man. And if you don't understand the average man, can you effectively serve the average man? I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with Pierre Poilievre. I am putting it out there. It's something to dwell on. What I do think is this: Canada does not need another politician. You need a man of the people to run your country. You need to get your country back. Right now, special interests and globalists run your country. Will that continue under a different political banner? Time will tell. But I will tell you this: another politician is not what Canada needs. You need a man of the people. As you all know, I'm an American and I comment on Canadian politics. I want to show you this picture. I don't know who Rex Murphy is, but I love the hair. I love the look. Canada needs Rex Murphy. Doesn't matter who he is. Love the look. Woo-hoo. Chantal Hervé. Like my French? Pretty impressive, eh? You like that little A? I threw that in there because, you guys are Canadian. Do you know that Chantal is on the Trudeau Foundation? Coincidence? Let's take a little stroll down a street in Vancouver. Play the clip.
They're collectors, you know. Even the
Julian was just on the block.
One would think you're looking at a street in a banana republic. It's one of the richest cities in the world. That's what progressives do. They destroy. They separate the rich from the poor, the uber rich and the uber poor. The middle class is gone. That is how they govern. And the longer they stay in power, the more you will see what you just saw. They absolutely destroy a city, they destroy a community, and most importantly, they destroy the middle class everywhere they govern. A Quebec funeral home is filling the void for people looking to end their lives, but for a fee. Of course, it's for a fee. The home itself is offering a private room to perform assisted suicide procedures. Procedures? I wouldn't call it that, but I won't digress. Ultimately, it's one-stop shopping, people. This is what happens when you take God out of a society and secular humanists run the show. Human life is cheap. If you're sick, if you're weak, if you're mentally ill, if you're poor, you are a liability to the society, and we got to get rid of you. One-stop shopping in Canada. Oh, by the way, Justin Trudeau and his government talks about human rights. My question to them is this: what humans are you talking about? And what rights are you focusing on? Justin Trudeau says the Liberal government has raised the bar on openness and transparency. Oh my goodness, this man is delusional. Play the clip.
The Liberal Party has consistently raised the bar on openness and transparency.
For a period of approximately 4 months, I experienced a consistent and sustained effort by many people within the government to seek to politically interfere in my role as the Attorney General of Canada.
Couple comments. Who's more delusional, Trudeau or the people who still support him? Now, what's very transparent? The lack of food in your refrigerator. That should be transparent. Yet, some people still support this dude. I'll be honest with you. They can't be helped. Canada needs an exorcism. Let's go to Ontario. It is Pride Month. Play the clip. So here you have a man showing his bells in front of a bunch of families, many of which are parents trying to be politically correct, children in the audience, and he is showing his stones. It is Pride Month, though. Nothing to see here, except a pair of bells. A family-friendly exhibit, Love Me Gender, is being held at the Musée de la Civilisation, like my French, in Quebec City. Play the clip. As you can see, the exhibit features a man stripping naked and showing his genitals to people, some of which are children. Oh, but love is love. Oh, I'm sorry. Love is gender. Family friendly. Nothing to see here.
Hey guys, stay up to date with all of our content at Locals. We post videos and updates not found on this platform. Thank you for your support.